Hello, everyone, and good evening to you, or good day, depending on when you are seeing this. This is Roger with Groovis Games Unlimited. And hello, I hope everyone's doing great and enjoyed the first weekend of 2023. We are back with part two of taking a look at the templates. I hope you're enjoying these little videos. I have a few things to tell you. First of all, I got sick. I was really sick yesterday. I never get sick. Knock on wood. I'm going to knock on wood because I never get sick. But I was just for one day, though. And so if my voice sounds a little different and if I cough, I'm getting over it, but I'm doing good. I got 11 hours of sleep, which is rare for me. And I feel really recharged and good. So I want to tell you that. Also, I'm always talking to our production engineer. Okay, she let me know that they will be, of course, going on Chinese New Year. I think it starts January 20 or 15th, but they're going to return January 26th. Okay. So she let me know that. And then the printing, of course, will definitely be happening right after that. I would say, probably a few days to chat about some things, make sure some things are lined up, going over a few different things. But the printing is definitely going to commence into probably the first week of February. So I'm just going to throw a date out there. I think the Pledge Manager will be closing around February 7th. I just have that date. So that's when the Pledge Manager will be closing. Right now, I've been working on this video and I'm working on the Kickstarter update, a really nice update. I'm going to try to have it out in the wee hours of the night. But if it's not tonight, it's definitely tomorrow. I've been working on it, putting things together, and it's going to be an awesome, awesome update. So I'll tell you what, without further ado, I think you're going to like this one. We looked at some really unique templates. These are going to be used for the printing process. Let's go take a look at those, and then I'll be back at the end to wrap everything up. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll talk to you in just a few seconds. And the first template we're going to look at is the Slayer of the Realm edition game box. And we looked at, the Crusader of the Realm edition. There's only 2 editions now of Dungeon Crusade. Crusader of the Realm, and then this kind of deluxe-ified version where you'll get, of course, the Crusader of the Realm edition, which has the Avalon Adventure board game, but it has the Hero expansion, it has the Double Dungeon expansion, it has both the Expert and Hero monster difficulty decks in it, and what else? There's a few other small things, but basically all the big expansions are included in the Slayer of the Realm. So if you're looking at the game and you just want everything, here you go. This is everything in one bigger box. It's the same size, but the depth is a little bit deeper because it has the extra content. And you know what I did like a while back to kind of like glitz it up a bit? I took some of the art assets from the encounter cards, and I did some graphic design here, put them in the back, and then took the evil skull here with this kind of like tarot wheel that's used in the game in a few places, and then just did that, and then created the Slayer of the Realm box. So there you go. That's a look at that. And guys, I'm going to tell you again, I'm just happy, that we're on the road to printing. And like I said at the start, they come back from Chinese New Year on January 26th. So shortly after there, we're going to be going to print. The Pledge Manager, I'm going to guess first week in February, but we'll have a concrete date. Okay, let's take a look at another template. Okay, and our next template is, and I'm glad this one popped up. It was kind of like right after that one. These are the 3 extra House of Chance games. Now, there's more components that go with these, but these are the boards. And what I wanted to say is, and what I remembered to say is that there is an add-on. So if you just want to get the 3 extra House of Chance games, there's just an add-on so you can get those 3. But again, in the Slayer of the Realm, you get these. So we'll zoom in a little bit here, take a look. So here's Heroes versus Monsters. And this is a House of Chance game where you have 3 heroes, a warrior, archer, and mage. And they start out at the Chapel of Light. Then you have these baddies up here. And they're represented by these like little pogs, like the characters. And they're advancing towards the Chapel of Light. So the heroes have to stop the monsters from advancing. It's kind of like a little bit like that old game Plants vs Zombies in a way. Um, and then there's 8 different challenges, so more and more like tougher monsters come out. This over here, zoom in. I love designing all of these games, but by far, and we're doing the House of Chance video, so thank you for your patience with that. But over here is the Adventures of Bravely the Knight, and there's a little red plastic spinner that goes right here. And someone's cooking something upstairs. I'm not going to edit that out. So sorry for that beeping. No, the house is not on fire. Don't worry. Some people don't know how to cook. Anyway, but this is a little dungeon crawl game. And so there's a little plastic red spinner, and you spin it, and you send Bravely through this death trap dungeon. And we'll be doing a playthrough of that. And it was kind of my tip of the hat to 80s arcade machines and, fantasy stuff. And this is a really fun little House of Chance game. And you can play all these games just on their own. And, let me flip this around here. The last House of Chance game, and Damien, my Malady, did. I gave him all the prototype stuff that I came up with, and of course he did all the final stuff, and it looks amazing. I asked Damien, I said, all these House of Chance games, make it look like they were pulled from a closet from like 1978. And all the artists are amazing, of course, but how he made all of this, like, wore down and, weathered and all that, it actually looks like that. That's how you're going to get this, where it looks like it's from a closet from 1978. But this is the other House of Chance game, Skulljack. Up to 3 heroes can play. Real simple form of blackjack, guys. It's nothing hard. And actually, if you don't know this, you get your own set of Dungeon Crusade Skulljack playing cards with this. So playing cards are included. So there we go. So there's a look at those extra House of Chance games. And remember, those come in the Slayer of the Realm edition. Or you could just, there's a separate add-on if you'd just like to pick those up. Okay, let's look at a few more templates. And you know what? I know a lot of people are happy about this, and I sure am. This is the template for the, there's a lot of templates because there's, pages, but this is the brand new revised Crusader's Handbook, revised rulebook, however you want to say it. And I know there were a lot of people so happy about this. Of course, like I said many times, that was one of the big things people wanted, a more smaller, condensed, straight to the point rule book. And again, Ilpo, this amazing, brilliant gentleman from Finland, we worked together. He was pretty much the editor, and we made a really good team. A few other tech writers, but massive kudos to Ilpo. So here we can just see there's a massive index we put together for this. This is, of course, at the back. And then at the very back of the rule book this time, there's a nice map of Avalon. But remember, in each edition of the game, something I wanted to do the first time, you guys are getting this big map of Avalon. Like poster type kind of material. So that is included in your games, but still, there's one on the back that'll look really nice. And then for the graphic design for this, I know we talked about this before, I basically just flipped the image and put this new graphic design to it. Freddie Lopez, of course, I worked with him, and this idea for this scene I've had in my head since I was a teenager. And right there it says Crusader's Handbook Revised, and I know a lot of people are loving it and getting excellent reviews from YouTubers, so thank you. We are very happy to have this ready for you. So maybe we'll look at a few pictures of a few pages if you like. So there's that. And let's move on to the next one. Okay, and here's another template with more pages of the revised rulebook. And we'll just look at this one. There's many others, but we'd be here forever looking at them. But we'll zoom in on this one. I'll flip it upside down. I'll flip that one in a second. But what we're looking at here, there's the new credits. Whoops. There's the new... I'll flip it there. New credits page there. And this is about a House of Chance game. That is for the Adventures of Bravely the Knight, page 42. And guys, I just want to say again, the Dungeon Crusade rulebook is way condensed. It is not that many pages, and again, massive kudos to Ilpo. Just I learned a lot, and we learned a lot, and just again, I'm happy that we have this revised rulebook. And there's another page, but this is another page towards the back, very back. This tells you how, like, where all the treasure chests are, mining sites, and trap symbols when you're setting up the game. And there's the table of contents right there. Real nice table of contents. Came out nice. And then we're going to go and try to flip this. Didn't. Oh, there was actually more stuff. Okay, sorry. So we'll get to that in a second. Because I forgot there's actually another page of this. But here, these are rules for the Avalon Adventure board game. That's at the front of the rulebook now. Instructions for heroes versus monsters, and there's the beginning part of the Adventures of Bravely the Knight. But you can see how nicely the graphic design came out. It looks killer. This is the first, well, page 2. It just says everything that's in your Slayer of the Realm and Crusader of the Realm edition. And we'll flip this real quick. And we'll close out with this. This was a really nice page that we added. And this took a while to put together. But over here you can see some of the various tokens, cards, boards, and other content. So anything you need, like any clarification on, you can look right here. It'll tell you what everything is. And there's the Ancient Runes and Tomb of Kaladar. Again, just kind of a key to tell you where to set everything up. And this page here is just some variants. Actually, we threw a bunch of variants in there that you could try with the additional difficulty monster packs. There's actually 2 variants for that. So there's a lot of stuff, and that's on page 43. And this, another thing, and Ilpo was the guy who thought of this again. Brilliant. This page right here is the recommended way to set up Dungeon Crusade. And this is one of the reasons why it's so much quicker to set this game up, because you can look at this right over here, and just while you're getting your feet wet with the game and getting acclimated to it, this will kind of tell you how to set everything up. And I just know that page has helped a lot of people. So to just give you an idea how everything is, and really guys, from the heart, I am just so happy and pleased with this revised rule book. It just came out excellent. And I'm just, again, glad we're printing it and get this thing shipped out to you so I can work on these 2 smaller games I've been working on and the 2 new game modes coming to Dungeon Crusade. Okay, so let's move on to a few more templates. And we'll take a look at this real quick. Each edition ships, there's 4 dungeons in Dungeon Crusade. Ancient Runes and the Tomb of Kaladar come in the Crusader of the Realm edition. But, as you know, with the Slayer of the Realm edition, you get the double dungeon expansion pack, which is Castle Blackwood, and, if I scroll down here, the Cavern of Lost Souls. So, and there is, of course, an add-on if you want the double dungeon expansion pack. So I just thought we can maybe take a quick look at Castle Blackwood. And, when I was designing all these dungeons, I love designing dungeons, but I was actually for about a month researching castles, and I thought I knew everything about castles, and man, did I learn a lot about castles, just different rooms, and just, it was really interesting. So when I built Castle Blackwood, I just put, I don't know, my idea or what I was thinking for this Castle Blackwood, and it's a really interesting layout. And the artist Sean Ellis, I gave him my rough prototype, and he's the one who made this look absolutely beautiful. So we have the Eastern Watchtower over here, Western Watchtower over here, and there's kind of like an outdoor area, snowy outdoor area. Here's the siege tile, and then a drawbridge going into the castle to the Great Hall, and then there were these things called oratories in castles. There's the throne room, the solar, that was another room in a castle, and then I wanted a ballroom for many different reasons. So there's the Eastern and Western ballroom, a larder, the undercroft of the castle, and there's some secret ways to get into the castle. There's the King's burial chamber, you can see that, and then there's the Queen's burial chamber over. These are huge files, so sorry for the blackness there. Hopefully it comes back. I may have to zoom it back out. There it is. But you can see right there, there's the Queen's Burial Chambers and the Hall of Honor. So that's a little bit of Castle Blackwood, and we'll take a quick look, if you want, over here at the Cavern of Lost Souls. And for this one, it was like, I've said this so many times, this is an outdoor, there's so many things on this, but I wanted, when I designed this, I wanted to give, I don't know, like a tip of the hat to MMORPG games in a way, and that's exactly what this board dungeon feels like. There's just so many things to it. There, you start out over here at the siege tile, and then there's the Swamp of Sorrow. Then here's the Mystic Falls area, and then there's this huge cavern in the center of it. Here's a little town called Briarwood, and I wrote all this story and about a certain race of monster that's going to be introduced. Here's the Darkwood logging camp. I got really in, especially this one. I just really got into this one. Crypt of the Betrayer. There's a crypt right here. Here's a secret entrance where this is the only board that has, like, you go in one part and then you come out at the other. Meaning, let's see if I can get over to this. Again, I hope you're taking a look at this. But there's a ladder going down, and here is Ren's Sanctuary, one of the heroes in Dungeon Crusade, and you come out in the hidden passage. And then the big thing is, there is this, no spoilers, but there's this mini dungeon in the back with the Chamber of Last Rites and the Sanctum of Oblivion, Chamber of Lost Souls, and then the real creepy part, Pit of the Blood God. And there's a whole story I wrote for this, so I hope you enjoy learning about it with the quest. There's just so much in, just this dungeon board. So there you go. There's a look at the Cavern of Lost Souls and Castle Blackwood. Okay, let's move on to the next template. Okay, here's a fun template to take a look at. These are, we looked at the 6 iconic heroes, who come with the Crusader of the Realm edition, but again, if you're getting the Slayer of the Realm, you get all the other 6 heroes, the expansion pack. So, since we looked at the 6 kind of original ones, here are the expansion heroes. I think hopefully you can see it from there. And heroes go up to level 3. So the way that they have this set up, they're just, again, I can never do what they do, guys, but every hero has an origin story, a little story about them. So you could read that on the back of their card, but it's on their level 1 card. So like if we look, it's upside down, but here's Lyrena Nightweave's level 1 card. Here's her story that will be on the back. And then on the back of level 3 is the level 2 version of that hero. Hopefully that makes sense. But with the expansion heroes, you get Lyrena Nightweave. She's the battle mage. And then Jorah Oakheart, the priestess hero. Very powerful at healing. Uber powerful at healing. Korath Doomswood, the warlock. Cain Redfeather. He is your ranger. I was very influenced by Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, especially with his hidden dagger. He has a special ability called Hidden Dagger. And if you ever watch the end of Fellowship of the Ring, I love those movies. Where he's fighting, is it Lurtz, right? Lurtz, he's fighting him and he pulls out that hidden dagger. That's exactly why I wrote that special ability. So he was a big inspiration in creating this Cain Redfeather character. And then here's Carrick Rowan, that's your paladin hero. And finally, Matari. She is your bard hero. So there is a look at those hero cards, and we'll flip it around and take a look at the other ones, but these are just like the level 1 and level 2 sides for those heroes. So everything is looking awesome, and again, thank you so much to our amazing production engineer and all the engineers at the manufacturer. They just, everything you could see is looking awesome and looking great for printing at the beginning of February. All right, let's look at a few more templates. And I thought this would be an interesting one to show you. And remember we looked at the Avalon Adventure board game, or the board, in the other video? Well, as I said umpteenth times, I put a lot into the world building and creating lore with bad factions, good factions, all these different villains, legendary heroes. And so when you play the Avalon Adventure board game, it's a choose your own adventure, but you'll never see the same game twice. There's 52 unique locations in Dungeon Crusade. So when I created all these, are called adventure cards, I wrote 5 different things for each of the locations that could happen. So there's good stuff and bad stuff that could happen. And while this was a lot of work, I have to tell you that I had just the best time creating this land and world to draw people into. There's just so many battles and encounters, and this is only, I'm not going to go through the other ones, but this is just one of 3 sheets. There's 52 adventure cards, but there's 259 unique battles, encounters, events just in the Avalon Adventure board game. So that's these are the reverse side of these cards here. But it's one of the reasons why the game initially took so long, is because I wanted to give people something really unique. Yes, it's very grandiose, and that's what I was out to do, is give people something different. So my point is, I'm excited for you guys who've not played this yet to kind of journey through Avalon, through these adventure cards, and just meet all these different heroes and NPCs. And it's just, I think it's a really unique experience, and I really hope you enjoy it. So just know this is not the only sheet. There's I think 2 other sheets. Sorry, so there's 3 sheets in total, and of course, front and back side. So I think you'll really have a great time exploring Avalon through the Avalon Adventure board game. And then, as you may know, if your heroes survive the land of Avalon, you import them into Dungeon Crusade. So I just thought these would be a cool template to take a look at. All right, let's look at a few more. Okay, and as you may know, there's 3 different types of monsters in the game. There's minions, champion monsters, and guardians. So when I created the guardians, there was actually 12. I created 12 guardians, but the game was so ginormous already that I had to cut it down to 8 guardians. So I picked 8 of them. And so what we're looking at here is all the guardians. Now, let me explain how this is. There's 8 guardians, and guardians can level up in the game also in Dungeon Crusade. They can go, while heroes can go to level 3, guardians can go to level 4, and they are uber tough at level 4. And I wrote, at level 1, you get the origin story I wrote for them. So they don't have special abilities, but as they go up, notice here, here's all 8 right here, nicely laid out on the template. But as they go up, here's level 2, they start gaining special powers. And there's some that use them on defense, that'll be in blue, and some that use their special abilities on attack. And as they go up, though, I created even different ones. So I didn't just, copy and paste the same special ability onto the next level. I created new, more powerful ones. And so you'll always see something different with them. And again, I had a great time just, fleshing out these guardians, and they're a big part of the game. And so here we're looking at them, and notice the ones in white. That is normal difficulty, and then here are some in blue. That's heroic difficulty. And then if you see a green glow, those are the expert difficulty. And remember, if you have the Slayer of the Realm, you get all the difficulty levels in that edition of the game. So that's a look at some of the guardians. And real quick, there's Banevic, Dreadthorn, Horus, Lord Blackhand, Magnus, the toughest demon, or the toughest guardian in the game. He is a demon, he's an archdemon, and he comes from the underworld. There's Nefarion, Razorfang, and Last Red Widow. And then on the side, let me put some more on here. And don't worry, the other ones that stop here at level 3, I saw them, they're on another template. So level 4, Heroic is on another template. And sorry, excuse me, that is the reverse side of, that's just the Guardian card. So there's a look at some Guardians in the game. Believe me, there's tons and tons of monsters in Dungeon Crusade. All right, let's look at a few more templates. Okay, here's kind of a very interesting template that not much on it, but some stuff I want to point out to you guys. So let's go to zoom in first. And this is the battle board. There's actually there's two sides. There's like an indoor dungeon side, and then there is the outdoor. And this battle board is used in the Avalon Adventure board game when battles break out. Or as you've seen in probably some of the videos, I'll use this when there's chamber combat. And actually I kind of like got a little more thematic, and I pulled out some of the furniture in my old Hero Quest. And so of course you guys could do that. So that is the battle board for the Avalon Adventure board game. But what I want to point out is everyone's favorite fetch hound, Albus. And I think I'll tell you what, we'll tilt it. So out, there we go. Hopefully we can zoom in. So Albus is your hero's fetch hound. And anyone who knows me knows I absolutely love dogs. Had them since I was a kid. I have 3 crazy dogs now. Absolutely love dogs. So in creating Dungeon Crusade, I wanted to do something unique with the game. Albus is your hero's fetch hound. You can send him back to the village to get potions, weapons, and just anything that the blacksmith would sell. And Albus can be leveled up too. It says right there, 5 life force will level him up to the next level. And Albus can be leveled up to level 3, where he can carry more, he can run faster, and all of that. And again, Freddie Lopez, my very, very good friend, my lost brother, Freddie Lopez, did all of the art for the heroes and monsters. And let me tell you something, I owe Freddie a lot, because he went through like 12 different versions of Albus. I knew I wanted a husky with like the blue war paint on his eye and the satchel. I was so descriptive of how I wanted this fetch hound to look. And really, kudos to Freddie. He nailed it exactly what was in my head. Just, it's perfect. So, there you go. I thought you'd take a look at Albus. Maybe you didn't know that Albus was in the game. And then this is a little backstory I wrote about fetch hounds in the game. And that's on the back, of course, his level 1 hero card. Okay, let's flip this back and discuss the other thing here. And this is the new Mercenary Camp mini board. Excuse me. And that's right here. And as you know, there's the new Solo Crusader mode. People asked, hey Roger, I want to use one hero when playing Dungeon Crusade. Okay, I went to work, created that mode, but in a tip of the hat to Diablo 2, one of my favorite games, you can also hire mercenaries. So it gave people this new way to play Dungeon Crusade, but also a little more sweetness on top, I guess you could say. So you can hire up to 2 mercenaries. And of course, you're going to get this in the Crusader of the Realm and the Slayer of the Realm. But I just wanted to show you guys, and it is going to be double-sided. That's why they have it set up like that. So, maybe you didn't know that. Yes, there's a new Solo Crusader mode and a new revised combat mode that you use with the Solo Crusader mode. And that's the new building in the village, is the Mercenary Camp. So I hope you like taking a look at that. Maybe we'll look at just one more, and then we'll wrap it up with a part 3 in a few days. So let's grab another template here. Okay, and I think this is a great template to close out this video. But remember, we're going to have a part 3. And guys, I just think it'd take too long to show every single template, that is here, because there is a lot of them. But I'm showing you, a massive amount of them. So we'll close it out with part 3, and I'll have a bunch of other ones in there. But a lot of them are, like the Guardian, the Expert ones, stuff that you've already seen, and plus some stuff I want to keep a surprise, like the treasure chest one. Maybe we'll take a little glimpse at that in the next one, because I would like you to see some of it. But with our last one here, this is a pretty cool one, and there's a few things I want to point out to you. Here is, start at the top here. How are we going to do this? Let me zoom in here. These are, we just looked at the heroes. I think that, okay. Make sure this is set up right. We just looked at the expansion heroes, and again, this thing is loading. But these are all the special abilities for the expansion heroes. And I wanted to pull this up just in case maybe you didn't know, is that when I was creating all the heroes and the special abilities, I created, well, first of all, every hero has counterattack, and that's used in the monster phase where a hero can attack back in one of the phases. So you're going to get 10 special ability cards per hero, but I created, and there's that hidden dagger actually right there I was talking about. So you're going to get, this is actually a good example. So notice there's level 1, level 2, level 3. So each hero has 3 unique special abilities, but they can all be leveled up to level 3. So looking here at Kane Redfeather, he has Hidden Dagger here. And then there's Shadow Stalker, and then where's his other ones at? Maybe down here or up on the other side. But he has one more special ability that can be leveled up to level 3. So that's what I wanted to point out. So each hero has 3 unique special abilities, and they can be leveled up to level 3. I'm sorry, I didn't see it right there. Here it is right here. So he has Spiritual Endurance up to level 3, Shadow Stalker, and then Hidden Dagger. So that is a little bit of those, and here's some other ones down here. And Jorah Oakheart, that's the Priestess hero, and this Healing Light and Heavenly Arc are great healing abilities. She doesn't have a lot of health, but she has a ton of essence, so she's a great hero, you know, like a supporting hero that can cast, throw heals down. And then we're going to look at this up here, and I wanted to point out to you. How did this... See, now I got a little confused. How did... Okay, let me zoom in. Wait, let me tilt it like this. Did I do it right? And... let's see, look down here. I wanted to show you some cards in particular. Again, that's the reverse side of the hero cards. And where did they go? I wanted to show... Well, there, it's actually right here. Shoot. Okay. Well, it's... I'm going to get this thing into focus. Sorry. Let me try to flip it this way. That way you can see it better. No, that didn't do it. Flip it this way. Sorry about that. About this. But it's a really important card. I've talked about it so much, and it's new to Dungeon Crusade. Well, we're going to look at it this way. Sorry. I'm sorry to take up all your time with that. There's a brand new Tavern Task. It's up at the top. We're going to flip it around so we can see that. But there's a new Tavern Task, and this is a very small card, but it made the biggest difference in the game. This is the Scalable Difficulty Reference card. And you can just download that. That's available now. But what this did is this helps your level 1 and level 2 heroes with the challenges and events in the encounter deck, with the traps in the dungeon, and the trap treasure chest. And you can use this on the environmental hazards in the Tomb of Kaladar. And again, this was something small, but wow. And I'm sorry about that. My one video part ran out. But like I was saying, real quick, what this, even though hopefully you can't, I don't know if you could read that sideways, but if your level 1 heroes encounter any of those things I mentioned, there will be a value printed on that card. You know, it's like you have to roll a d20. It's going to be like a stat check. You get to deduct 6 if your hero is level 1 off that value. So it just made it more approachable. The other thing is when your heroes are level 2, you can deduct 3 off of that value on that card. And then at level 3, you just use that, you use the value on that's printed on the card because it is, you know, they're level 3. Sorry, my phone was ringing. I had to grab my phone and I muted it. But then just, we're going to hopefully shoot to the top, and it should be right there. Yeah, so there's, okay, here. There's the reverse side of the new Tavern Task card, the Trouble with Traps. And I was inspired actually by Daniel from the Dungeon Dive. He said that it'd be cool if there was something in the game where heroes that have like an incentive to spring traps. So I started thinking, about it. And now Captain Briggs here, this is a character from the story of Dungeon Crusade. Heroes can gain 100 gold and 2 life force by springing traps in the dungeon. So I'll leave the rest of the surprise for you, but it's a very cool tavern task. And here's just the reverse side of the scalable difficulty reference card, and I'm going to say it one more time. It's one small card, but man, it made the biggest difference in the game with that. So just very happy with where everything is at. All right, guys, let's switch to our other format and wrap this up. But I hope you enjoyed looking at some of these. And again, we'll do one more part. We'll look at a bunch of other templates for printing. And I'm back. I hope that you enjoyed taking a look at those templates. I thought they were pretty interesting, and I threw this panel here. Pledge Manager, I'm just throwing a date out there. February 7th, might be a few days sooner. But again, I'll have a concrete date coming up within the next week or two after I converse more with our production engineer and the engineers, of course, there. So, but again, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at those. I'm going to do one more part, and we'll look at, another set of them. There's just, like I said in one of those parts of that video, there are so many templates, guys. But hopefully you like how everything is looking. Maybe you learned some stuff about the game. But I thought this one was pretty good. That, like some stuff you may not have known about. And what else? I'm going to get back to work here because I really want to get this Kickstarter update out for everyone and let everyone know the great news. And what was the other thing I was going to mention? Something else. But in the next day or two, I'll have part 3 out, and then it's just really going to be promoting. Now, I wanted to get these out and this Kickstarter update before starting the promotions, because I imagine a lot of people are going to look at those, so I want to have all the information in place so they know what's going on. And other than that, I hope everybody has a great Monday or a great week. And I will be back very soon with you. I always do a video Kickstarter update, so I'll be back to hang out with you and just go over that. And other than that, I'm just really looking forward to this year, guys. And I'm very excited about these 2 smaller games. Each one is based at a certain place in Avalon. Much smaller games, but there's going to be some content that's going to be very abundant, I'll say. And of course, the 2 new modes for Dungeon Crusade. So I will be back with you. Have a great week. Happy gaming. Stay safe. And don't get sick like me. And I will be talking to you very, very soon. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.